Okay, so in this video I'm going to go through each of the kite, rhombus, square, and rectangle problems that were left incomplete from our last class. So in a kite, these two angles here are congruent. And again, that's based on right here. These two angles are congruent. These two angles are different in a kite. So the four angles of a quadrilateral add 360 degrees. So if I take 360, take away the 65 and the 25, which is a total of 90 degrees. What's left is 270 degrees. And I'm dividing that equally among these two angles that are equal. So 270 degrees divided by 2. Each angle is 135 degrees. So one way of justifying that the sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360 is think of a square. You have 4 90s. Think of a rectangle. You have 4 90s. That adds up to 360. Every quadrilateral, the interior angles add up to 360 degrees. In the problem 10, we have a perimeter, which are the 4 sides added up. So this length here and this length here are the same, so that's y plus 7. This length and this length are the same, which is 2y plus 1. So you have two options here. You can do the full perimeter, or you can do a half perimeter. So if I'm going to do a half perimeter, I'm going to take 2 of the sides that are different, and that, if I add those 2 together, it should equal half of the perimeter, so it's like going halfway around the shape. So if I take 94 divided by 2, half of the perimeter is 47. Or you could add all 4 sides together and set it equal to 94. Either way will work. By combining like terms, you have 3y plus 8 equals 47. Subtract 8 from both sides, 3y equals 39. Divide both sides by 3, and y is 13. In this problem here, so a couple of things. These two lengths are equal because of the reflection. These angles here are all 90s. So that makes x is 90 degrees and y is 15. And in the last kite, we have right angles here. So we have 53, which also makes this 53 when I do the reflection. Oh, this is the line of reflection here. And so we have right angle plus 53 plus the unknown angle makes 180. So 180, take away the 90, take away the 53, and what's left is 37. And that would be these two angles here. So y is 37 degrees. And then up here, you have a right triangle where you have 2 of the lengths, 3 and a 4. So we have a rule called the Pythagorean theorem that will let me find the last length x. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. 9 plus 16 equals x squared. So x squared is equal to 25. X is equal to the square root of 25. So x equals 5. Alright, so that's the video for the kite problems. We'll go ahead and move on to the next page and work on the square and rhombus rectangle problems. In an effort to keep the video under 15 minutes, I am going to do only 5 of the 8 problems. Actually, 6 of the 8 problems. If you have a question on 16 or 19, I'm more than willing to do that in class. But I'm going to focus on the other problems, again, skipping 16 and 19. So this problem here, these two sides are equal, and these two sides are equal. And it's a rhombus, which I can reflect right to left, or top to bottom. So if I do that, the length of 4, y is 4. And then I'm looking for x, and so I have another right triangle here because the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular. So this actually is the Pythagorean theorem that I just completed on the previous page, and x was 5. This problem here, we are looking for angle measurements. So again, we have right angles here. This is 21. This is 21. And again, I can reflect left to right or right to left. I can flip up as well. So this angle here is 21 and this angle is 21. So x is 21 degrees. And then angle y, this angle y here, this angle, and this angle are all the same because by again reflect right to left, reflect from bottom to top, all four of those angles are going to be the same. So I have a 180 degree angle, I got a 90 degree angle in each triangle, and I have a 21 degree angle in each triangle. So what's left, and this is 111, so what's left is 69 degrees. So that makes each of these angles here are 69 degrees. So y is 69 degrees. In problem 15, we have a perimeter. This is a rhombus, which means all four sides are equal. So if I take 68 and divide it by 4, answer is 17. So all of these sides are 17. In problem 17, this is a rectangle, which means all four of these sides are equal, because the diagonals of a rectangle are bisected. So these are all 10s. So x is 10. And we're looking for y. And so we do have a right triangle here. So if I shade this right triangle here, we have 12, and then the hypotenuse is 20. And we have a length here of y. So I'll do y squared plus 12 squared equals 20 squared. So I'm doing the Pythagorean theorem. So y squared plus 144 is equal to 400. Subtract 144 from both sides, and y squared is equal to 256. So y is the square root of 256, which is 16. So y has the answer of 16. Problem 18, we have rectangles. These two angles add up to 90 degrees, which makes x 16 degrees. And then the last problem. We have a square. So one of the comments I made to you about squares is that I don't really have to give you any angle measurements because the angles here at y are all 90s. And then all the other angles going all the way around the square, these are all 45s. So angle y is 90, angle x is 45, and then we're looking for the length of z. Now, the one thing about z is that these are isosceles right triangles, so that means all of these segments are all the same length. So that means z is 15. So your upcoming test, you're going to be given some problems similar to this, where you are trying to find the missing lengths either for angles or for sides. You're going to continue this this work. I've created an activity which is in the outline, and so go ahead and make sure you complete that activity and prep for your test. So on your test again, there'll be some transformational work. There'll be some work in terms of applying the our theorems, such as the ones on this handout. You'll be given some problems that you may be marking triangles or identify them using like the triangle congruence rules. There's one proof, and then on the delta math side of it, there'll be approximately 20 to 25 problems somewhere in there. Definitely the 16 topics that were given for this week's homework assignment, all 16 topics will show up at least once, and then there will be a few other problems that will be added on to that for those topics that are more critical. This is the end of the video, so please go back to the outline and continue working on the next activity.